Good morning, Big Brother Canada fans. This is Mike, and it is Monday, March 9th, 2020. And I am doing a fairly brief little CarCast to catch you up on what's going on in Big Brother Canada. But this is the casual version. I am not watching the live feeds. I am not checking on social media very much. I am pretty much a TV-only viewer. So frankly, unless you aren't watching it at all, I doubt I have much insight for you. And if you aren't watching it at all, why are you listening to me talk about it? But let's just pretend that some of you get value out of this silliness of me talking to myself. Well, where are we at? Last Thursday, we saw... Okay, Nico self-evicted. Now I've got to pull up my picture. Thanks again to TV Tater. So give me a second while I pull up the cast picture, which I still sitting on my printer in the basement. I haven't picked it up yet, but hang on. Bear with me. Yeah, I can't do... All right, cast picture. Very good. So... they left us on Thursday night hanging with the head of household competition. Ended up that Chris won the head of household. Chris is the guy with, I wouldn't call him bug-eyed, but he's always got his eyes wide open. He says he claims to be a hypnotist or a brain person or some weird thing. And even though on episode 1, they kind of implied there might be some kind of attraction between him and Maddie, the tennis player, or the former tennis player, in reality, no, there isn't. Maddie is much more interested in Michael, a.k.a. Mike, who's the one who looks like Mickey, a.k.a. Jackson, from last season's Big Brother USA. At least that's what I think. Doesn't look exactly like him. And he seems a little bit more normal. But there is some resemblance. I showed these pictures to Useless Traffic John, a.k.a. Useless Traffic, my coworker who's a Big Brother watcher, USA only, and he kind of saw the resemblance as well. So there's no showmance going on. And there was, by the way, here's another little thing that they showed last night, an implied... what the heck, we're both bored, let's do something thing going on possibly between Jamar and Min Lee. Now, again, was that all just a conversation they had one day, sexual tension, and nothing ever developed out of it? I have no clue. I don't know what's going on. They didn't show any more of that. That's the problem with the TV only watching. They may not even be talking to each other at this point. Nothing may have happened. That may have been a joke. I don't know. But the edit implied that there might be something going on. I guess we'll find out. Maybe. Or maybe they'll just move on and we'll never hear about it again. What else? Kyle. Kyle's the long-haired guy who's... I thought he was a really douche after Thursday's episode. He didn't get as bad of an edit this week. He didn't butt heads with Min Lee. But his alliance members are getting nominated because Chris ended up, and that's where the episode ended. But we're not trying to. I'm not trying to do things in order perfectly. Chris ended up nominating Brooke and Hira, I don't know which, for eviction. In theory, it is a double pawn move, and his real target is Michael. We'll have to see. Now, a couple of things they showed on the TV show. Oh, and then, in Big Brother Canada fashion, the Wendy's is a sponsor, and they always give the head of household a special meal, and he gets to pick someone to enjoy the special meal with him, and he picked Kyle, who was apparently broing up to Chris as a way to, curry favor with him, even though he doesn't want to be in alliance. Although they did show Kyle and Chris and Sheldon. Yes, wherever Sheldon is on this sheet. Where's Sheldon? Oh, there's Sheldon. A three-way bro alliance, and they're going to go after Michael. In theory, that alliance is false, and Kyle and Sheldon are just doing it because Chris has had a household, and they have a true alliance. Sheldon and Kyle have a true alliance with other people in the house, including Brooke, maybe Hyra. I'm not sure who the fourth one is, because he talked about having his own final four, and I thought the alliance was bigger than that. I thought they had a 6, so I'm not sure what they've broken it down to. And it's not incredibly important at this point. Yeah, it's interesting. There's stuff going on. There's all kinds of stuff that I know I'm missing by not having the feeds and by not watching. And spoiler or secret thing, I kind of tweeted yesterday that I didn't know what was going on going into the show. Actually, I'd seen one tweet that told me that Chris had a household and he nominated Hyra and Brooke. But I'd kind of half read it and kind of like tried to block it out of my brain. And I have since then muted the BBCan8 hashtag or as a word. So I don't see any tweets that anybody has included BBCan8, which eliminates a lot of tweets because people usually throw that in their tag of the people that I follow when they're talking about it. And then I actually muted a few accounts. I have to admit, and it's not to be offensive, I think I've muted Hamster Watch, who I follow, and she follows me, and so she and she favorited the one that I said I was doing things. I don't think she would care if that I muted her. She could mute me for all I know. Big Brother Network, I just muted last night. You guys got to remind me to unmute these accounts. That's the thing. I don't usually mute accounts, but I'm muting some pretty specific accounts because they sometimes tweet without the hashtag and talk about the show. So I muted those 2 accounts, and then I muted the hashtag. And with all that done, I haven't seen much Big Brother 8 talk. Although Liquid 8 still tweeting. Oh, I know. Power of Cheeto. Power of Cheeto is an account that I started following last year. That account kind of grew, and it was very much a Big Brother-oriented account. And they like to post a lot of clips. Well, they would post a lot of live feed clips. And now they post a lot of TV clips. And frankly, and I don't know the Power of Cheeto person, but they're becoming much less. Maybe they'll go to all Big Brother when it's back on, but right now they tweet things that like Survivor things, and I don't think they use hashtags. So I may unfollow. I have muted them, but I find them a benefit during Big Brother. But right now in the off season, they put out a lot of stuff that I consider spoilers, and yeah, that's the thing you got to make the decision on. What are you going to follow? What are you not going to follow? All right, I'm way off course here. So Big Brother Canada, somebody today is probably being told they don't have to have slot. They did the have-nots, which was volunteer again. Who's doing volunteering for have-nots? What a stupid thing to let them volunteer. They should make the head of household decide. Make it uncomfortable for them. If they're gonna have have-nots, then stop with the volunteering crap. But it was a volunteer thing, and I can't even remember who all volunteered, but somebody's going to get voted and not get a slop pass, basically. We said, you don't have to have slop. And that person, in my opinion, will be seen as, public likes that person. Canada likes that person. I don't know if we should keep them around if Canada, or I better team up with them because Canada likes them. That's how I would read it. I would read that very much of a popularity contest, just like they read the Chris was upset that, Canada voted him one of the least popular. That's why he was nominated week 1, because he and Min Lee and who else. I can't even remember at this point. Nico and one other were voted least popular. There's a thing you like to have when you go in and start the show. So by this point, I would think if it's like Big Brother USA, which it is fairly close to it, they've already done the Power Veto competition. The Power Veto ceremony will be today if it wasn't yesterday. So those of you that watch it, you already know. You already know if this backdoor plan is working or if things have already changed before it even happened. Maybe Brooke said something. Brooke and Chris caught Brooke and Kyle talking, where he was basically telling her she was getting nominated. It seemed, we don't know the timeline of when that occurred, and there didn't seem to be any blowback on the in the TV edit from that, but there could have been. Chris could have said, "What are you doing telling her she's getting nominated?" I don't know. And it could be a complete edit where she was just crying about stuff earlier before Kyle actually talked to Chris. You just can't quite tell. Although, no, he was telling her she was going to be nominated, so it was after Kyle talked to Chris. But Kyle may have said, "Hey, I'm going to go tell Brooke because we're kind of close. That just to be good and all that stuff." So it's all in the editing. Oh, it just drives me crazy. It really is driving me crazy to only have the edit to go by, because I know there's so much more that I'm not seeing. But there's, in some weird way, I'm enjoying only seeing the TV edit because it frees up the rest of my day. I would not ever do this as a regular thing for sure. And I think as an experiment, even though we're not even we're just basically 1 week into the show. If I were to, watch Big Brother Canada next year, I probably would start watching or keeping track and reading what's going on. The thing is, it did make me watch the show a lot more closely today, or last night. I watched the episode very closely to see what was going on. Normally, I might kind of half watch it out of the corner of my eye if I already knew what was going to happen. I know all the stuff. Why do you watch it closely? So it did make me watch the show more closely. All right, everybody. I have arrived. That's what's going on. I think the show is 7 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday. They said that at the end of the show. Again, I have a VPN client. It's called Private Internet Access. I think it's PIA is the initials. And I tweeted about it. Someone asked me if it was free. No, it's not free. I think I pay $40 a year for that. And it does have an app, and I used the app on my phone last night as a test. So I enabled the private VPN. I set myself to Toronto, and then I was able to, in Safari, go to Big Brother Canada's website and launch the TV episodes. Now, at the time, the last night's episode wasn't up, but it's up by now, and it probably went up late last night. So you can, if you want to spend $40 a year and you're very slightly tech savvy, you could get a VPN up and running. Now, the Hide My Ass, I hate saying that one, but it's got a donkey as a mascot. VPN client that Hamster Watch promotes might be better for some of you, because I think the cost is probably about the same. And she gives out instructions on how to use it and stuff. I don't know if they have a phone app or not, but if they do, then that'd be just as good as this the VPN client that I'm using. I just signed up for this one because of other things that I do where I want to have a VPN running. I never really use it for surfing. Someone else asked me if you could watch Netflix. I tried it last night as a test. No, Netflix pretty much seems to have that figured out. They knew when I tried to run a VPN from the UK and tried to watch Netflix, it kind of balked at me like, it looks like you're running a VPN. Please turn that off, or a proxy is what they call it. So that doesn't work. But anyways, all right, now I'm pulling into my parking space. I actually was going to talk about something else. Maybe I'll do another one of these later on the way home or something. We'll see. You guys be well. Have a good day. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.